Hey, and welcome to Thursday night Soaring Profits Live with your host, Patrick, my partner, James, and our beautiful guest this evening, Mr. Larry Goldstein. Larry, how are you doing this evening, pal?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
I didn't notice the golf clubs in the back. That is awesome.
I like it. It's a nice
well, I'm always thinking about it. That's all.
Not a boy. So, Larry, obviously you are in the healthcare space, and it looks like what you folks are doing is something that's a little bit revolutionary in regards to financing for individuals' medical expenses. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you folks are doing, how it's a little different than some of the other programs that are available out there, and kind of the difference of moving away from the insurance type provider to what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, we all know the healthcare system's broken. We all know people are paying a fortune. People can't even tell their doctors which one they want to use, what network they want to go to. They're at everybody's discretion for their health and their family's health, and they're paying a fortune. And obviously, a lot of that money goes to corporate executives, big advertising programs, and they're in business for the stockholders to make money. Okay, this program is health sharing. It's been used by big corporations for many years. And what it is, this one is not religious based. It's a nonprofit organization. So their goal is to pay. Their goal is to make sure people have quality health care. They're not out to make corporate profits. They don't have to have a ton of money for their stockholders. Okay, the object is to keep people healthy. And it's run by a stone cold nonprofit organization. It has the perks that families just desperately need. Some of the great perks they have, and again, I read it because there's so many of them, is free telemedicine. Okay, you got a family of 6 people. You got the kids. Mama's got to work. Whatever. The kids got something. Should I take? Call. You're on the phone. You're on the phone within an hour or so. And if you need something prescribed, you get it. If not, the doctor will give you his opinion. It's a comprehensive plan. You pick your own doctors. There's none of this network. There's no such thing as a network. Okay. Doctors love us because they get paid. Okay. Right. They get paid because we pay within a few weeks when insurance companies try not to pay, take months and months and months, and they got to fight for their money. The object here is money in, money out. We're here to take care of people. If you enroll this month, you start next month. There's none of this waiting period. There's no time frame where you can sign up. You sign up, you're in. Prescription plans are incredible. Yeah, with the AI that we have, if you got a drug that you use, you punch it in. You punch in a radius of all the pharmacies in the area, and because all pharmacies don't charge the same price, and boom, right. It comes up with all the different prices. You find all your lower prices. It's phenomenal. Okay.
So Larry, in this situation, when you have a client and you're onboarding these individuals, obviously, like you say, the healthcare in North America, we're in Canada, so we have a healthcare system that we have literally watched deteriorate to the point of beyond broken over the last 25 and 30 years. Anyone will have their opinion on their own healthcare. I am much more of an advocate for the United States style. James, my partner in crime here, will disagree adamantly. The problem is that it seems like we've gone in Canada here to where we're looking at a for-profit, third-party, tiered level system. That's what we continue to move forward. We've had socialized medicine here in Canada, which unfortunately we pay through the nose, and our services are ridiculous. Our wait times are astronomical. This product here, and you said something that kind of caught my attention when you first started. It's not religious affiliated. When you said that, are there other programs similar to what you folks are doing?
Yeah, there's been programs that have run forever where you can it's just for their religion. Okay. Yes. Sure. They've been around. Okay. And I want to get to your Canada thing real fast because a lot of people do come to the United States to work and they come for healthcare, right? Well, guess what? if you are a citizen of Mexico, Guatemala, or Canada, and you have an ITIN number, a work number to work in the United States, you can get this program. And,
Interesting.
and whether you use a doctor in the United States or anywhere in the country, in the world, you give them your card and they call up and they'll get paid.
So that's the same as an insurance provider card from, Green Shield,
Right.
any other.
Absolutely. And if the doctor doesn't take it, the number's on the back where they call, bingo, bango. They don't say no because, again, the company pays.
Yep.
They pay quickly, which is big for doctors. I mean, heck, I've heard stories that are horrible. They get paid. The object is to pay. It's not to have a big ledger sheet of a lot of money. It's to pay it out. So you also, if you get involved, again, everything is cut and dry. Everything is up front. You have a back office where you can see my money. Some of my money was shared for this, for that. Okay.
Well, I think that's an important aspect of this, Larry, is that this is really as communal as it gets when it comes to any aspect. And I'm going to go through this, and I want you to correct me where I'm wrong. For those of you that are just picking up, the profiteers out there that are checking this out and haven't heard about this before. So this is an insurance. It's probably a dirty word in what you folks
right. It's a dirty word because it's not insurance, but yes, it's a replacement for insurance.
Right. And this is something that people are paying in on a fee schedule, depending on the size of their family, correct?
Right. Uh-huh.
Now
let me just stop you real quick because then there's good points to throw in.
Yeah.
It is by family. So the best deal for this is for family. If you got a husband and wife, if they have one kid, they got 9 kids, their monthly is the same.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. In fact, I do this on my flyer that I use. An example, I give John and Mary Smith got 6 kids. John was born on, because it goes off of the oldest person's age. He was born on Christmas Eve, 1990. They'll pay anywhere from $404 to $576 a month
for a family.
Everybody. And you know how much families like that are paying? They're getting destroyed for garbage.
Now, what does that look like in case of how does that work in regards to co-pays? What I had looked at is showing that there is a bit of a cap in regards to what the seasonal kind of per annum copay looks like. And am I even calling it a copay? Again,
you got your deductible, which obviously your deductible has to be covered before it starts to pay. Okay, so it goes from $2,500 to $10,000, and that's for, again, insurance companies are per person on the policy. This is per policy. So if you got 12 kids and you're paying only $600 a month, well, you're going to get to your $2,500 pretty quick because you're using all the kids are for one. Okay, it's phenomenal. And then after that's paid, there's a co-share, which is 10% up to $5,000. So we'll pay 90%. They pay 10% up to $5,000. Okay. After that, it's all paid for.
Now, and that's $5,000 a family per year.
Up to, yeah. But for that, you got to get 50,000 more in bills because you're only paying 10% of that. So you got to get.
If you have a catastrophic injury or someone that is very sick in your household, this sounds like the greatest thing since sliced bread, Larry.
It is. It is. Look, you did in my bio a little bit about me. I would never thought I'd be in the healthcare game at all. It never crossed my mind. Okay, when I came across this product, I researched the heck out of it. I went to a convention about it. I got it for myself and my wife. To try out the thing. And I don't even need it because I got VA, but it's still a good supplemental to have. But I got it just because I'm not a young guy. I'm not going to get into anything into healthcare that's a residual business that's not stone cold incredible. And I looked for a way to say no. Like I told my wife, I'm not a healthcare guy, but I am now because I'm in the people business. I know a lot of businesses because it's good for families, businesses, individuals. The money they're saving, like businesses get on board, they'll save more. They'll save more than the whole thing costs. The people are paying half and more. Like I say, if you know families that are paying stupid monies, 1,000 plus, and they can get something better for half the money or more. Well, why would they look? It's just not known because it's not going to be on TV. It's a word of mouth deal, and that's what keeps the cost down. Obviously, their only expenses are paying folks like me or other people that want to join us.
Interesting. James, so
So,
you and I have had discussions over the years in regards to, the Canadian system and what, versus the American style system. Larry, I was involved in a healthcare business here in Canada where we did nursing, providing care for individuals as they aged, keeping them in their home, focusing on that. And James and I, we tend to be a little bit confrontational when it comes to this, because when I started this business about 10 years ago, I was viewed as very anti-Canadian. A lot of people were very threatened by what I had established, but I could see the writing on the wall, and I could see that our healthcare system, going through the baby boom that was going to come, was going to get flushed out. There's the demographic switch. There's not enough young people to pay for the old guys, right? So that's where we are right now, and we're really struggling in Canada with caregivers when it comes down to just the day-to-day operations of our hospitals. So James, for you coming in here now and you see something like this, why do you not think that this might be something that would work here in Canada for us?
So right now I'm just listening and learning what the system is all about. I think it's interesting that they're working together to have a plan, but I can see how people will be left behind. And that's where my problem with it is. It works great if people have money, but there are so many people in this, especially in Canada, that have no money, and our system covers those. So I don't know how someone who is working minimum wage, maybe at like Dunkin' Donuts, I guess that's a States one, how they're going to afford this kind of care. Like $5,000 a year is astronomical. You wouldn't be able to figure that out if you had a large family. So I don't know how that works. In the Canada system, at least we have anyone can walk up to our hospital and get help. Anyone can get a doctor. Anyone can get care when we need it. I'm not, Larry, in no way am I trying to bash your system. I just don't understand it because I only know the Canadian system. And in Canada, that's just the way it is. Everyone, it doesn't matter if you're homeless or you're the richest person in the world, you get health care. Now, he's right. It is a two-tiered system because the very rich and the upper middle class can get health care faster. It's totally true. But is there a system by which that people who don't have the money, like underprivileged homes, do they fit in your system somehow? Or is it they would have to go to a different system?
Well, again, they fit in because the prices are as low as they can get for quality health care. We still have Obamacare down here that if people are hurting for money, they can get on for next to nothing. I was forced on Obamacare when it first came out because I was self-employed and they took away my plan. Okay. So I witnessed it. And you got to go to county hospital. You got to go at their discretion to, obviously, people who are taking that are not getting paid the most, not to disrespect anyone because doctors are amazing people, but they're not the best of the best. Okay. With this, you go who you want, do your research, find who you want, have them call corporate to take the card and you go to them. And price wise, again, all right, health quality, health coverage versus just health coverage. Here you go, who you want, when you want, and like I say, I'm giving you family prices. Myself, and I'm a 60-year-old guy, it's $200. Okay, my monthly. Okay, yeah. You guys, if you're not married and stuff, you'd be, under $150 or so. So
I agree. That's amazing, and I think your system is awesome. I'm not in any way trying to disparage your system. I hope you don't feel that way. I'm just talking about
you're Canadian, brother. I mean, you're in a different government too. You're in a different
totally different.
Your whole
way.
system is different.
Yeah. So I have great health care because through my work, basically my teeth are covered, my hair is covered, my eyes are covered. Anything I possibly want, I can walk in and get done. But all around me, especially in our community right now, there's a large percentage of homeless people, and they cannot get in the American system, as far as I know. How would they get health care? That is my worry about it. But how do they get Obamacare if they don't have any way to sign up? I was under the understanding that you have to sign up for Obamacare. And again, I'm not trying to be rude.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I'm not an Obamacare expert. Obviously, I did have it, but for people who don't make money, it costs them. They advertise. It costs them $10 a month. I mean, so when you can, you can just do so much, Hey,
So Larry,
yeah.
So Larry, when Obamacare came out, and again, we're a little bit ignorant of the fine minutia,
I
if you
am.
will. But when Obamacare came out, that became, like you said, you ended up on that system because you were self-employed. So
Forced to go on it.
forced because you were required to pay into the system.
I had one choice. There was no plans available at all for me,
Right.
but Obamacare. So again, the government, now we're getting into politics and stuff, but the government trying to do something righteous forced me out of a catastrophic plan that I was happy with.
So you had private insurance at the time.
I had to, yes.
And that then transitioned into Obamacare.
Well, no, Obamacare forced them to close down.
Forced them to close down. That's interesting.
Yeah,
So
there was not only where did my plan went away. I mean, I had no choice. Plus, Obamacare had, like, in some counties, had one option, just one. That's it.
Right.
Again, that's Obamacare. Again, to me, that's for people that really need it. Hey, it has some of its righteousness.
Right.
I'll say, if you want to look for a negative, like James, one caveat is, for pre-existing conditions, 36 months. That's the thing we want to. Obviously, if you get sick while you have the program, God bless you. We're going to take care of you.
Yeah.
But we don't start out by taking people with pre-existing conditions, which obviously is the one thing that your kind of medicine is better.
That, you know what, that is also the same for us. Like, really, so when I signed up to my work's insurance, for lack of a better word, because that's what we have here, any pre-existing conditions aren't covered.
Oh, really?
So anything before is not covered, but anything right now that happens to me is covered. It is a different kind of system.
It too? Like for this, if you have something that hasn't been diagnosed or treated for 36 months, it goes away.
I don't know the time frame, but yes, that is true. But at the end of the day, if everything else fails, I'm having a heart attack, I can take a 911 call, take an ambulance to the hospital, and I'm fully covered. Like, I don't pay a cent. And I think that's the difference.
Well, so we are talking, James, in that regard to, and respectfully, the lowest common denominator in society. And that's where I think that we as Canadians get wrapped up in that a little bit too much, where we've allowed our top end level healthcare to be just absolutely eaten away, deteriorated to a point of, well, I don't want to get super political. We certainly can if that's something you want to do, Larry. But during COVID, Canada,
my political views are very strong, so I don't want
to. I'm probably with you. So when we went through COVID here in Canada, we went through bedlam, and our system, in regards to the shutdowns and all of the situations in hospitals, was crazy. And to the access to healthcare that we are paying through our tax structures, that's the socialist healthcare, that we're calling this, is directly funded through our revenues from GST, which is our government sales taxes. And we have like HST, which is a harmonized sales tax. We're taxed on tax and then taxed again. We are taxed to the point of ridiculousness, well over that 50% threshold for individuals over into that six-figure range. So for someone like myself, who is in that, healthy six-figure income, for me to look at a few $100s a month to be able to look after my family, and it's not how many children, what does that look like? That's a no-brainer. That seems like a great pitch. So when you're dealing with these families that are coming to you, who is your client? Like, what do they look like? It sounds like
you're absolutely like, I feel the same way. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, if my little kids were around me, my kids are grown up and moved on, but I had my little kids and I had a wife, I would be buying into this, no problem, because obviously it's a better level of healthcare than just walking out the street. I understand that. I worry about everyone. That's all I'm trying to say, is that I worry.
What is, and right now families are paying half their monthly income just to have health coverage.
Totally.
I mean, people are
absolutely
literally paying $1,200-$1,500 a month, and they don't choose their own destiny. They don't choose their own doctors. They're at the discretion of, what do I do? When here they pay way less, have the free telemedicine, go to who they want, when they want. I mean, if a doctor's busy and they want to get in now, they find one that can get them in right now. So again, the only negative, again, and everyone has the pre-existing condition, because I looked for a negative. I really did.
Right.
And again, it's this, we're different in Canada, but a lot of people from Canada come down here to work. They come down here for medicine. Okay.
Oh, we
And
come down there to test.
so your Canadian friends can actually get this. Save them a fortune.
No, we
Yeah,
definitely do. I have a lot of friends that come down there for medicine, and they come down because it's cheaper. Absolutely. That's true.
Okay. So my whole issue is just getting people to look at it and compare it. It's not a sales pitch. Obviously, when you're talking about getting money, it's a sales pitch and doing a product, okay? But also I ask people just look at the facts. What do you got right now? How much you paying? What's your coverage? Let's compare. And it's not even close. I mean, it's not, the only thing it's close on is with your Medicare, because the supplemental you can get through this also, because that's only $100 a month anyhow. So, I mean, this is a couple of bucks less. My wife still has it, but it's not the fortune that people save. I mean, to be able to pay $500-600 a month when you're used to paying $1,500, and then you get all the extra perks, the free telemedicine. I mean, it's phenomenal. To pick your own doctors is phenomenal.
So, Larry, again, for us, telemedicine is really something that is just taken off here in Canada. And for us, we have access to free telemed. But in most cases, it's a book something, you'll get a call back in multiple days. You might call on a Monday, you're going to get a telemedicine appointment on like a Thursday or Friday. You folks, it sounds like you're doing a for-fee service, except in this case, you folks are covering that fee. What does that normally cost for an individual to do a telemedicine appointment in the United States?
I don't know. I don't know about what other companies do with the telemedicine. All I know is this doesn't cost them a penny, and you usually get called back within an hour. So
I'd like to take a moment and roll it back, Larry. So you said that you and your wife, you found out about this program because you were looking for your own healthcare. So before this, there was something else. Like you walked into this how long ago?
This?
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah. So you're like 6 months in. So I'm going to say you're probably 25, 26 years old. So what did you do? What did you do before this? Like, I know you mentioned to us that you went through some trials and tribulation.
I had a healthcare. We moved to Northern Arizona. I'm a veteran, so the last few years when we moved up here, the VA here, because the VA around the country isn't great. The VA here is phenomenal. So I got my VA. I just got this as a secondary just to have, because I really don't have to have it. My wife got it as her secondary for Medicare, because up here, when you become 65, Medicare pays 80%. You still got to find a way to cover the other 20. That's what she has it for. Costs her $100 a month.
So VA is because you served. Is that correct?
Right, correct.
So where do you mind me asking where you served? And
well, the country doesn't exist anymore. So I was in West Germany.
Oh, wow.
West Germany in the 80s, a few years before the wall came down.
That's excellent. Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So you served in the Army?
Yes.
Yeah. And then after you left the Army, what did that look like for you?
Oh, I went to Vegas and I was a craps dealer for 15 years.
No way.
A craps dealer. That's pretty cool. So I hear it's pretty difficult to become a craps dealer because you have to be vetted, you have to pass a whole bunch of like hoops, and then you have to be able to.
That's Atlantic City. I mean, you got to learn to deal. You got to be a good dealer,
right?
You got to be good with numbers. You got to be good with people. You got to be good with your hands. But I mean, if you want to get into talking to craps, the business has changed. I caught just the bitter end of old Vegas, so it's a different world now. It's corporate America. Before, every entity was under the same roof. You can get comps, free stuff, this and that. Now it's too much of a business. It's it's a different game.
Right.
But I love
I went to Vegas shortly after I turned 21. I was down about $1,800 the first night we were there, and playing craps. That was it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I look like I should be here. This is awesome.
Yeah. Like my wife said, I always lose playing craps, but I look good. You know,
That's it. Yeah,
I
exactly.
look real
So, so,
good. Yeah.
so you played, you were a craps dealer for a little while, making some money down in Vegas, the land of opportunity. And then
Yeah.
after that, what happened next?
When we moved down to Phoenix, my dad passed, so I moved down to Phoenix. I was with my mom for a while,
Right.
and met my wife at the funeral of my best friend. One of those crazy stories.
Wow. Well, do tell.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
She likes when I tell the story because I change it. I make it better all the time.
Do it.
She worked with my friend. You know, she worked with him, and he was my my buddy. And when he passed, we were at the funeral, and mutual friend because she worked with them, and just so happened to be sitting next to each other with my other friend. And obviously, she was nice to me, and so I was new to Phoenix. I wasn't there very long, didn't know any girls. Buddy of mine later said, "Hey, so what'd you think of the girl at the funeral?" I said, "Brother, I'm not. She was nice, but I'm not a funeral. I'm not here to pick up chicks." So to make a long story short, he well, I says I'll call her. She seemed nice, you know, and but I decided not to call her because I was going back to Vegas. I didn't like the real world, and I was going to go back and deal craps again. Had a job lined up. Broke my arm in the stupidest softball accident of all time. Couldn't go to Vegas deal craps right away. Called the girl, and 21 years later, here we are.
Wow. That's wild, man.
So you stayed because of an injury? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, if I didn't break my arm, I was going to Vegas. I wasn't even going to call her.
Exactly.
Full circle back into the healthcare aspect of it, right? You met your wife because you broke your arm, and now you are in the business of providing fantastic healthcare for individuals. Talk
Absolutely.
about a full circle.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're really blessed with this because honestly, this is like I say. I looked at this forwards and backwards. I looked for something wrong. Come on, there's no way healthcare can be so so much less than what other good people are paying. Come on, what's wrong with it? Why are all these perks here? And the bottom line is, it was started by good people who have money, obviously, who made this a nonprofit because they wanted to help because they know how important this is to people. And this is really a heck of a service. I mean, sorry, it's not free. We got to pay for something, but it is truly a fantastic program. Like I say, I looked for the negatives, and I appreciate anyone trying to dig as deep as they want to find a negative because and the owner, you can talk to them if you need to be. I mean, it's a huge company, but everyone, they have access to them because they're not corporate junkies. They're there for a certain purpose to help. And
so Larry, how do you get in touch with these folks? Like, what is the name of this, the brand of it? How do you get in touch with you? What's your pitch?
What's my pitch? My pitch is just call me or email me anytime, and let's just talk about it. And let me give you a quote. I mean, it takes. I could do a quote right now if I shared your screen in 30 seconds, okay? Because it's just straight to the point. How many people in the family? What's the oldest person's birthday? Boom, here's what it is. I mean, there's no.
That's literally all the information you folks are asking.
That's it. And
so
you sign up
what
about the first of the month?
What about, like you said, existing conditions?
Pre-existing conditions obviously are not covered
my
for 36
age.
months. Well, I mean, if you're someone who's getting the Medicare supplemental, there's no pre-existing conditions. That's different for 65 and over. But for the other folks, the families, pre-existing conditions, you'll still get all the because we obviously discount with the doctors. The AI, cuts. You don't pay full price, so you get the AI for that. You get the prescription drugs, but pre-existing conditions is still 36 months.
I think
what if I fly to New Zealand or Cuba?
Covered. If you got to go, if something happens, give them the card. They call Impact, and you'll get set up. And you're covered.
So the company is called Impact.
Right. Oh yeah, we're all independent business operators that do it. Okay. So the company's called Impact. Everyone gets their own company. Makes their mine's Gold Health Sharing.
Yeah.
And if they want to go to goldhealthsharing.com, they can check it out, get some info, and get a quote. They can email me at larry@goldhealthsharing.com. And my phone is always available. Call me, text me, 602-989-4200.
There you go. And also you can you pull your phone out there and use the QR code that we have on screen, folks. And to me, Larry, this sounds like a plan that is giving other options. And I think that's such an important aspect when it comes to healthcare, education, anything that you're putting your family involved with. If you are tunneled and funneled into one plan that has to work for everybody, kind of like what I've experienced in my country of Canada, that's a recipe for disaster in my books. I know there's a lot of people that might find that differentiated from me, in my opinion. But I look at this as something that you are providing a service, you're providing an option. So, people out there, you folks that might have somebody that is looking down the barrel of a bit of a loaded gun, when you talk about all of the financial stress, and I talk a lot in the world of finance around what it takes to get your mind, your body, and most importantly, your money right. If you're not healthy, and then the next thing you're going to get a massive bill in the mail from these providers, it sounds like Larry might have a bit of an option for you. So if there's anyone out there tonight that maybe can pass this along to a family, someone that they know, especially maybe if somebody is in need, maybe give Larry a call, take your little phone out there and hit that QR code, and hopefully you can make something right for him.
I'd like to talk next about like what it looks like for mental health, because mental health is super important to me. But before I do that, I want to talk about 5 to Thrive. So we're Soaring Profits, Be Daring Foundation, and Walking Tall are all linked together, trying to end the stigma, raise awareness about mental health. And we're doing this through a race that the wonderful Michelle from Be Daring has organized, created. And what we're trying to do is Soaring Profits across Canada. It has a virtual race. You race at your house, or you race at, in your park. You get a bunch of people together. You can do it all together, and it tracks you. And then you do a 5K walk or run, and it raises money, and that money goes to a great cause. Part of that money goes to an organization that we're going to launch very soon. We're not launching it, but we're just going to launch the partnership with them. We're talking to them right now. They're a great organization. We love them, but they just want to make sure that we're a right fit at the moment. But so soon as we can, we are going to let you know who they are. And I just love them, and we're gonna do some interviews and some chats with them. It's going to be amazing. While I have you, though, I'm going to show this little video clip.
It's the end of the world as we've known it. We can't wash our hands of this war. It's a race against time. It always has been. Maybe that's the real crime. I don't wanna run in circles anymore. What if we all slow down? 'Cause there's no turning back now. And everything's changing. Everything's changing so fast.
And that is just to recognize one of the 5 wonderful young people who unfortunately took their own lives, and was the reason that Michelle from Be Daring, the Be Daring organization, launched this wonderful run. She's been doing it for years. Now she's trying to take it national. And I really hope, if you're watching us, you'll check it out. Hop on. If you want to find it, you can ask us for the information, or you can go onto that video you just saw and you click that QR code, and it will bring you right to our link. And then you can join our wonderful run. Like I said, next week or the week after, we're going to let you know who we're partnering with. A great cross Canada mental health organization, really, really doing great things, much like Walking Tall, much like Be Daring, but in Canada. And I just love it. So that brings me to the next thing, Larry. Like, so what about mental health? Like, what happens?
Mental health, I was going to throw that mental. This is a comprehensive plan. Mental health is covered.
Okay, but so I have an emergency situation where I'm upset. I'm having an anxiety attack. I go to the hospital. What does that look like? Do I have to, like, I don't know how the American, that's why.
I can't. I'm not obviously, I don't do hospital enrollment and stuff, but if you got it, you go to the hospital, you show them your card, and they take care of you.
do they pay after? Do you have to pay? So some of the things in Canada
The
that I
company
get,
pays. Yeah, it's not like those plans where you pay and then you try to get your money back. No, if the company renegotiates, and then if there's something for them to pay, they pay. Like
Interesting.
first,
What do you mean by renegotiates?
well, I mean, every doctor's bill, every doctor charges a fortune. Again, the
Right.
American system, every doctor charges X amount of dollars, and the
Yep.
insurance companies, they renegotiate it down.
Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah,
So
so
there-
the AI for this company, again, I don't know the ins and outs of every insurance company, but the AI for this company is phenomenal. Again, I can show you where the bill was $35,000 and a person pays $3,000. Or again, I don't know. There's scenarios that can be shown that when we do a full presentation, we'll show you.
Sure. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that. Maybe you can, give us, obviously confidentiality being what it is, but maybe you could give, somebody breaks an arm. Like for us, it's obtuse for us to even think about that costing a chunk of money going to the hospital. We don't experience that. So what does it cost for somebody? They slip and fall and break an arm. Kid breaks his arm as the quarterback of the high school football team. What is that setting back a family?
Well, I mean, you don't know until the bill comes, okay?
Right.
But for starters, again, for emergency services, they would cost them $150 getting in the door, and then the bill gets renegotiated. Obviously, they pay up to their PRA, their deductible,
Right.
and then if it goes further than that, they pay 10% up to $5,000.
Interesting.
But they don't get turned away. Okay,
No.
they will always be seen. Okay.
Yeah. So the PRA is what?
Well, primary responsibility amount. That's what it's called in the health sharing. It's the same as deductible. Same as deductible. But don't forget, when you say you don't have to worry about that, well, how much of if you're paying a 50% income tax, when here you pay 25, do the math. I think you can afford the $2,500.
Yeah, and I think that's, Larry, exactly where, someone like myself, and again, my income is as such, where that makes a lot of sense to me. I also do very much understand where James is coming from and looking at it from, the socialized medicine perspective of everyone needs to have something. But it does sort of sound like the Obamacare has executed that. There is something there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm sorry for someone who's totally on the streets and doesn't want to go and get signed up for it. You got to put a little effort into something. I mean, you'll get it for free.
Right.
So I mean, it's Obamacare takes care of those.
Yep.
This takes care of people, saves them a fortune as long as they don't have major pre-existing conditions.
Absolutely.
And there was the other thing we were talking about, the back office. When you pay your money in, like I said, you'll build up in money in your account. And then when it needs to be shared, of course. Now, if for some reason you get a big job in corporate America where, hey, you got some incredible insurance paid for, whatever's money is in your account, you get. You get. So, like I say, it's a non-for-profit organization. They're not trying to hose you in every way. They don't have big ledger sheets they got to fill up. They don't have, people watching over and making money, investing in them. It's all about take the money in, do the best you can for people at the best price humanly possible.
I think it's a great idea.
It just makes sense.
Yep. Well, Larry, first of all, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I think it's a fantastic product that you have. Like I said earlier, folks, if there's anyone out there that that could potentially benefit from what Larry's doing, get in touch with him. His QR code is down that way, that way, somewhere there.
Middle. There it is.
So you're able to pull out your phone, take a picture of that, like pull out your camera, and it'll pull up all of his information that we have for him. And Larry, thank you for what you do. It sounds like you're out there making sure that people are able to sleep a little bit better at night. And again, something we're very passionate about, obviously, is that mental health aspect. And if you're able to take some of that worry away from people, I think that's a great opportunity. So thank you very much for what you do, Larry. If there's anything we can do to help you in the future with trying to put that together and put people in touch with you, we'd love to be able to do that. But from me, folks, thank you. We got some cool stuff coming down the pipe in the next couple of weeks. As always,
I was going to say, before you sign off, buddy, why aren't you flogging your new show? We got a new show coming. You should be talking about it. Before I do that, though, Larry, thank you so much for coming on. I know I gave you a bit of the gears about.
You're good, brother. I love your both ends.
my heart always goes to like the people that are hurt and the people that struggle. And I don't want to get too much into it because you're a guest, and I'm not about making guests
You
feel
can say
uncomfortable.
whatever you want to me,
But
brother. Believe me.
but not every situation is planned. Not every situation is people have choices. And I am glad that your healthcare, I'm telling you right now, I would sign up for that. I make really good money. Your plan sounds amazing. It's a no-brainer for me. I would love my kids to be taken care of. I think it's fantastic and it's wonderful. I am just so glad you came on and explained it a little bit. There are lots of comments that you should get on our, when you get a chance, look us up on LinkedIn and check out all the comments. There's a lot of questions that you could probably answer. And I really wish we could have got to
right on your site.
Yeah,
Soaring Profits?
right on LinkedIn. And I want to apologize to Mark Reed because we ran out of time. We'd love to have him on, but we don't have any time. He's in the green room there. Mark, I hope you enjoyed the green jelly beans. We picked them out just for you, buddy. We love you. You're anyway. Please check us out. Check out Walking Tall. Check out Be Daring. Check out Soaring Profits and how we're working together to do this Thrive for Five for Thrive. It's a wonderful, wonderful event. Lots of fun things, concerts, etc. coming down the pike. Soaring Profits itself is launching a brand new show, and I am super excited about it. You won't see this pretty face at all. So there you go. You won't have to hear my bleeding heart at all. It's all going to be hardcore, unfeeling stuff.
It's called making money, folks. It's called making money. We don't have to worry about that feeling crap. That's terrible. Larry, thank you again, pal. And one of the things that we always do here at Soaring Profits on Thursday nights live is we let our guest take us out. So I would like you to take us out with some words of wisdom, something to leave the audience with.
Life is a blessing. Life is short. Every day is free, and try to live it that way.
I love it. Sounds good. Take care, folks.